Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Espa Dialogue podcast by Precious Kalu. So, today I have a very important guest, like as usual, and this guest is no other person than Justice K. He is a sales and digital marketing consultant with over 5 years of experience, and he has helped hundreds of clients and taught over 3,000 students on sales and digital marketing skills. Also, he founded Value Lead, a website design and digital marketing company committed to providing solutions to value driven businesses and organizations worldwide. Justice is passionate about solving problems and helping people become more valuable to the marketplace and grow their income. I mean, everything about Justice K is about value, 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 and that's why he's known as the Prince of Value. Justice K, thank you so much for coming. I'm really excited
Thank
that
you
you
for having me.
accepted. All right. How is Abuja this night? I mean, we are recording this night. How is Abuja? How is everything?
Abuja is fine. Everything is okay. The city is peaceful. It actually rained earlier today, so
Oh,
the
okay.
whole place is calm. Yeah.
And to my viewers, this background is not my normal background, as you know, because I'm on a vacation right now and I'm still dedicated to bringing this podcast to life. That's why I'm doing this. So when I get home, maybe next or other week, you're gonna see me in my normal background. All right. So Justice, I really have so many questions to ask you. But first, I mean, I'd like to know what was the driving force of your professional career? What was your purpose? What made you to start in this digital marketing and skill and wanting to help people selling, training people and helping other clients? What is the purpose behind all this?
Oh, before I get to that, I also want to go on a vacation. So, so maybe you should inform me for when you have subsequent ones. I would actually
Of
like to be
course.
there. I mean, you have a very
But
beautiful background, though.
you were not in Lagos, so it was for people who are in Lagos mostly. So that's
Doesn't
it.
really matter. I started coaching online in 2020. Actually, I started
Mm,
learning about digital marketing in 2017. And
okay.
in 2020, I thought I should share my ideas because so I started learning in 2017. As at 2018, I had started working with clients, right?
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
and in 2020, during the lockdown, I thought I should actually share my experience as a digital marketer and a salesperson. So I started sharing
Mm,
my experience by teaching others what I do and how I do them. And in 2021, I launched my one of my courses, the Digital Marketing Bootcamp. So it was in
mm-hmm,
the process of teaching the students who enrolled for that course that they started calling me Prince of Value. So my Digital Marketing
mm,
Bootcamp students started the name Prince of Valley. And what happened that year was, so one of those days, when they started calling me the name, I was like, this is actually interesting, right?
mm-hmm.
So I went on Instagram. So my Instagram handle before was I am Justice K, right?
Yeah.
So I went on Instagram and I decided to change the handle from just I am Justice K to Prince of Value. And when
Mm,
I did, I realized that the Prince of Value was actually available. So I just left it like that.
okay.
So I left it like that. Then went on other social media platforms and did the same thing, right? So I thought the name is actually interesting, and of course,
It is.
I
It
actually
is.
add value for a living. So I mean, why not? Somehow, I think it was within that year that I also conceived the idea for value lead, right? So
Mm,
like Prince of Value lead, like it
value
made a
lead.
lot of sense to
My
me. Yeah, sure.
goodness. Okay, coming from your professional background and in general, what can we say, or what could you say is really the most significant lesson you've learned throughout till this day?
One of the lessons I have learned, or the most profound lesson I have learned getting here, is the fact that effort is a common factor, while knowledge is the differentiator.
Wow.
Because
Should we
everyone
say
is putting in the effort, right? So every day people wake up and they put in effort here and there, right? So
mm-hmm.
the person with the most effort does not necessarily get the most result or the most
Mm.
reward, right? So
Wow.
knowledge is the differentiator. Knowledge differentiates you from every other person. That is why every day I commit to learning. I commit to learn, especially if you're in the digital marketing space. Things are changing every day, right? There are a
Yes.
lot of innovations coming up day by day. So you don't want to stop learning, right? So
Yes.
when you learn, you gain more knowledge, and that alone gives you a competitive advantage, right?
Exactly.
Because actually, this is it. So most people actually do business or offer their services, looking for the person who will connect them to the person that's going to, introduce them to their next big thing, right? But
Mm-hmm.
this is what I think. Beyond who you know is what you know.
Wow.
Because who you know can get you into the room, but what is going to sustain you is what you know.
Is what you know. Yes. Yes.
So if you know what you're doing, if you have the value that you claim to have, it means that once you get into the room, you're going to be part of the negotiation table, because I see life as a business, right? There are a lot of negotiations going on everywhere. That is why I love sales. I think actually Daniel Pink wrote a book that to sell is human. That's one of my
Mm.
best sellers, right? So I think everyone should make learning a continuous process, because learning is going to make you become a better person. It is going to make you know more. And when you know more, you're going to be able to do more, and you're going to be able to achieve more, right? As I was saying earlier, a lot of people focus more about who they know. Now, this is the thing. People who matter
Yeah.
want to also meet and do business with other people that matter,
Wow.
right? So, of course, that is it. So, because that is the thing is, so a lot of people want to meet people that matter, right? But do you matter yourself? Because if
Mm.
you meet people that matter and you are in that negotiation room and you don't have value to offer, it means that you don't matter. And
Wow.
when you don't matter, you become matter. That is, you're just occupying space,
Wow.
right? So you have to go beyond occupying space to actually becoming someone that matter, because life is a barter system, right? You have to give something to receive something in return. You have to give value to receive value, right? Just like in the days of barter trading, you couldn't get an item or a commodity without exchanging with the one you have. Do you
Yes.
understand? So a lot of people are always talking about receiving. They always care about receiving, but they are not giving. And of course, most people don't give because they don't have what it takes to give, right?
Mm-hmm.
So because if you have value and you don't add value, it doesn't make any sense. You're not going to get rewarded, right? Now, this is something I shared a couple of days ago, right? You don't get rewarded for being alive. You get rewarded for adding value to lives. Do you get the point? And for you to add value to lives, you need to be knowledgeable. You need to be valuable. So learn
Yes.
until you become so valuable that you can't be ignored. And when you
Wow.
get to that point, you're going to be able to add value to any negotiation table you find yourself, and you'll be able to, create the kind of life you want, and of course, become a better version of yourself.
Mm. Wow. Like a lot of value here. I mean, you are really amazing, JK. And talking about your professional career and in general, what was really like? your fear of failure. Did you even have a fear of failure in your life, and how did you overcome it?
Fear of failure. Actually, I grew up shy and scared, right? So
Okay.
anytime I say this, people who really know me, they don't believe it because
Because
they're like,
I don't even know how to believe it. Like JK that I know right now, if he told me that he was somehow shy before, I'm like, how? What was the change about? What happened? How did it transition to being a shy justice to being an outspoken person who has
yeah,
a lot of value to give out?
very important. So I went from being shy to being a salesman. So I talk to people for a living now. And
Mm,
the turning point for me was when I got admission. So I got admission into the university because throughout my high school, I was very shy. I couldn't talk to anyone, right? So I got admission into the university and I thought that I should come out of my shell. I actually told myself that this is time to come out of my shell because even while I was younger and as a teenager, I had always thought about selling. Like the first time I started thinking and reading about selling or seeing sales books, even though I didn't take them really seriously, but I thought it was a worthwhile profession, right? I thought it was actually interesting. So I somehow wanted to be a salesman. I loved it, but I was shy. I couldn't talk to people. So I wanted to be a salesman, but I was shy. I was scared. I couldn't share my opinions. I couldn't share my thoughts. Right. So when I got into school, I told myself that I'm going to come out of my shell. And I didn't just
mhm,
tell myself that I started acting towards it. Right. I started
yeah.
volunteering. I started by volunteering. I volunteered for a United Nations Student Association. And I was
Mm,
appointed as their Assistant Secretary General then. Somehow I started submitting proposals to some top officers of the school. I started reaching out to companies around campus, right? And
yeah.
somehow, outside campus, sometime in Enugu State, that in Enugu, that's the capital city of Enugu State. I schooled in University of Nigeria, Nsukka, which is located in Enugu State, right?
The
So,
popular Nsuka.
yes, so that's my alma mater. So, at a point, I just thought that I should actually reach out and talk to people. So I was connecting with people from like it got to a point in school where I knew all the top guys that were doing great, like I mean beyond class, right? People who were building businesses, doing business, guys that were into tech. I connected with some of the top guys that were doing entrepreneurship and so on, right? So I think making that decision and taking the required action was what
Mhm,
turned everything around for me, right? So I went from being shy to talk to people to actually falling in love with talking to people. So I think for
wow.
me, that is me overcoming the fear of whatever. Because yeah, the fear of failure, when I talk about the fear of failure, I just think that it is lack of knowledge that make people to be scared of failure because whether you're scared or not, you're going to fail, right? So the fear. So this is what I think. The fear of failure is actually more about a knowledge problem than fear problem.
Wow.
Yes, because life, whatever you do in life, you have just two possible outcomes. That's
Mm-hmm.
success and failure. Do you understand? There are two
Yes.
possible outcomes, success and failure, right? And no matter who you are, right, you must have failed at something. Or this is it. No matter who you are, you're either going to get a success or you're going to fail. You're either going to succeed or you're going to fail, right?
Wow.
So if you understand this, you know that some of the most successful people have failed plenty times.
Yeah.
Do you understand? So they didn't succeed because they stopped trying. They succeeded because they kept trying even after they failed.
Yeah.
Do you get it? So anyone who's talking about fear of failure is just giving an excuse. And guess what? Excuses don't give you any reward apart from repercussions.
It's true.
Yeah. So no one should be scared of failure, because whether you're scared or not, you're actually going to fail at something at some point in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Someone said failure is part of the process of success, right?
Yes,
It's just
that's
a
true.
process. So if you don't stop trying, you're likely going to succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you fail, you learn the lesson and you keep going.
Yeah.
So that is it.
I mean, when it comes to selling, you mentioned selling and becoming a salesman. I mean, I've heard some people say selling is difficult, and I cannot sell. It's difficult. I don't know how to approach people. Like, how do you really say it? Was it ever difficult to you when you started, or it's really difficult, as they say?
Selling is actually difficult because life is difficult. So because I cannot actually, I don't see them differently. Like selling is a part of life. So
Yes.
I don't know. I mentioned about um, Daniel Pink's book, "To Sell is
Mm-hmm.
Human," right? So
Yeah.
I mean, so if you are alive, life is structured in such a way that for you to get anything, you have to sell.
Mm.
You understand?
Okay.
Of
I need to up
course.
my game on some certain areas, in that aspect. I mean, I need to up my game in some certain areas of my life in that aspect
Sure,
because
you
since
should. Everyone
everything is
should.
about sales. Hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Because I mean, you have to keep refining and learning and all that. So life is hard. To achieve anything worthwhile in life, you have to put in the work. That is why it is called hard work. Do you understand? So
Yes.
hard work. So for you to achieve anything worthwhile, you have to put in the work. And sales is about putting in the work. It's about showing up and telling, helping people. Before I used to think it was difficult, of course, but it's all about mindset and learning and actually knowing what it's about, right? Sales is about
Mm.
helping. So most times I reach out to prospect and I tell them that after researching about their problem and how I can actually help them solve the problems they have in their businesses, I reach out to them. I tell them that, hey, Mr. Prospect, I have gone through your website or I've gone through your social media platform, and this is what you're not doing right. And I think if you do it, it is going to take your business from where it is to your dream state, right?
Mm.
Or to the next level. It's going to take you from point A to point B. I can actually
Yes.
help you achieve this, right? Do you want me to help you? That is actually how the conversation goes. Do you understand? And most times, the
Yes.
people I have these conversations with are actually strangers. And they're interested in the conversation because you're trying to help them, right? So most people wouldn't say no if you're trying to help them. And of course, with internet, right? I mean, we live in the best time in history. Just look at
Yeah.
what you have that time, right? A beautiful brand, you know, connecting with people all over the world and adding value to their lives because of
Yeah.
the time we live in. Do you understand? So one of
Yes.
my men was telling me he actually schooled in University of Nigeria too. He told me that during their time in 1970s or thereabout, that they used to go to the library to get
Mm.
books. And sometimes when they get there, the person attending to them will tell them that someone from Unical or from some other school actually borrowed that book. Life is structured in such a way that for you to get anyone to do something for you, you have to
Mm-hmm.
sell them into it. That is
Yeah.
how. So someone said we sell to survive, right? So selling is something that happens naturally. Everybody
Yeah.
is into selling, whether you agree with me or not. But what people don't know is that, for instance, right, before you show up and do whatever you want to do, right, you have that
Yeah.
negotiation in your mind whether you should do it or not. Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
So most
Yeah.
times before you do something, you sell yourself into the idea of doing that. So
Wow.
this is it. Before you sell yourself into the idea of selling.
Oh my
Because
God. Like that is
you
really crazy.
sell yourself into that idea. So it's all it's a mindset thing. So if you think that sell is difficult, and because of that you should not sell, you're doing
Mhm.
yourself a lot of harm. Because guess what is not guess what is more difficult? Going broke and living in lack because you refuse to sell. Like I said earlier, most everything that is worthwhile is actually hard. It is difficult. You have to choose to do the hard things so that hard things don't do you. You get the point? So sales is actually difficult, but it can be done. You just have to decide to sell and show up to sell. And of course, learning. Learning is very, very important. It is a very important factor, right? Because if you don't know how to sell, it's okay. You can learn how to sell. So I think that most people should go from the fixed mindset to the growth mindset. They should move from the fixed mindset. So most people have fixed mindset towards the thing they don't do. Right. So let me say this. So if I encounter a challenge or if I encounter something that I don't know, right,
Yeah.
I tell myself that I don't know this thing, but I can learn it. Do you
Yes.
understand?
That's I
I can
can't
learn,
spirit.
yeah, I can learn it, I can know about it, then I can do it. Do you understand? So,
Yeah.
but most people, once they encounter a challenge, they just tell themselves that I don't know this thing, therefore, this is not for me,
Mm.
right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense. So more people should actually learn how to sell and start selling. A lot of people have, like there are a lot of things you can sell today. People actually sell their knowledge, right? People sell their creativity, people sell the products, people sell a lot of things, right? So selling is part of our daily living. We cannot do without it.
That's right.
Because if you don't sell, other people are going to sell to you. And if they keep selling to you, you're going to spend all the money you have and you're going to become broke. And that
Hmm.
is harder than selling.
Wow.
Being broke is harder than selling. So choose your difficulty wisely and get it done. So if you don't know how to sell, learn how to sell and go out there and sell.
Whoa. Like I'm really enjoying this session. Like it's so insightful, value driven, everything. I mean, but then there are some people that are like, he's been talking about value, sales, marketing. How is your personal life like? Do you even have one? Do you watch movies? Do you go out? What is your personal life like?
Personal life. I mean, creating a balance is very, very important.
Of course.
Yeah, creating a balance is very important. So apart from showing up every day and trying to add value, trying to solve problems, working on projects, of
Mm.
course, so this is it. There's a way I manage my time. I do what is called time blocking. So I have time for everything. For instance, I go to the gym every day.
Okay.
Every day. Right? So I started working out earlier this year and I've been consistent with it. Before I started, I thought it was going to be very difficult, but it is said that health is wealth, right?
Yes.
So I took it really seriously. So my personal life and my well-being is very important. So I eat well, I work out, I meditate. I of course catch up with family and friends almost every day too, right? So I have time that is meant for work. For instance, right? So I and my team we started doing something earlier this year, sometime in February. So
Mhm.
because some persons in my team they are not in Abuja, so they work from different parts of Nigeria, right? So
Okay.
so for those that can make out time in the afternoon, sometimes we show up on a Google Meet call, and I will just tell them about the task for the day. And at 3 p.m., right, we start making sales calls. No matter where you are, you're going to make that sales calls. Do you understand?
Wow.
So that is time blocking. So at 3 p.m., you show up from 3 to 4 p.m., sometimes 3 to 5, depending on our target audience, right? So you show
Yeah.
up and there are calls. Do you understand? So so because of that, so even when maybe on weekends, because we do that from Monday to Friday most days, most weeks actually. So on weekends, right? Once it is 3 p.m., I always feel the need to pick up my phone and start calling prospects or clients. Do you get it? So that's time blocking. So I have time for everything. And like I said, balance is very, very important. So I make out time for work. And of course, I make out time for my self-care, personal care, whatever you call it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it is actually very important.
Oh, okay. Talking about your teams and your services and everything, like how are your services like, and how do they really help clients achieve their business goals?
Okay, interesting question. Okay, so I run a digital marketing and web design agency, like you
Okay.
read in production.
Yeah.
And so what we do is we actually offer digital marketing services to
Mm-hmm.
clients. I'm talking of services like web design, SEO, graphic design, content marketing, video creation, and so on, like a range of digital marketing services. And the reason why
Okay.
I started this course, so I was doing this as a freelancer before, right? Before I
Mm-hmm.
actually started an agency, because I saw. So this is it. One of the force that drives me, right, is the fact that I love learning. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
most of the services we offer are actually things that I can do or things that I've done for clients, on my
Yeah.
own. Do you understand? So it's been so how I got into web design. I was working with this client, this Ghanaian client, on social media advertising in 2021, and she said she needed a
Okay.
website, right? She needed a website. Then I didn't know how to build website very well. I just knew the basics, and I thought I should be able. And okay, she needed a website, and I reached out to someone to build the website for her. The person actually gave us an outrageous budget. A friend of
Mm.
mine. Go back to her, and she told me her budget, and I said, okay, we could work something out, right? I got the web design course, took the course, and bought a domain and hosting for myself. For
Wow.
myself. So I used that to actually put the course what I learned in the course into practice.
Yeah.
Then I was able to build a website for myself. Then I told the client that I can actually build the website for her, and she trusted me. She sent part of the money. I got the domain and hosting for her website, and within a couple of weeks, the website was up. Right,
Mm.
so it's just like that, right? So I just kept learning and learning. You understand? So if I encounter a challenge today, I just go learn it and I implement it. If it works, boom, start selling it.
Wow.
So
That's
so
amazing.
yeah, sure. So those are actually the services we offer to clients, and it's been awesome. So right now we have clients from all over the place, from the US, from the UK, Germany, and so many other countries around the world. Of course, Nigeria.
Yeah. Like, I mean, this is amazing. Your learning mindset and implementing or practicing those things for yourself and also for other people. Like, would you mind sharing maybe any recent project that you're really proud of that, you've done recently?
I've done a lot of projects. I've done a lot of projects. So one exciting project that I worked on recently, right, is an Afro fusion restaurant in
Wow.
London. So they are in London, and they reached out. So we started talking and go walking. I started talking and go walking with them. The reason why I love the project, the reason why I think it is exciting, is because it's about food.
My goodness, I missed that part.
I love food a lot. So when they sent me their brief and what they wanted and everything, right? I actually enjoyed the process of researching about
A
the
lot.
the trend menu and all that. So working on the platform was really interesting, and it was tasking too, right? So it was actually tasking. So it's a platform where people can actually order food and all that. You understand? And so it was really exciting. And currently, I'm working on another exciting project, but
Okay.
I mean, I'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
So
of
that's one
course,
project.
of course, of course.
Is that?
I mean, for value lead, what is are there new features or new project or anything that you're bringing later on, or you're already working on to help clients, or do you plan to coach other people in this area?
Yes. About the coaching, yes. Even though at some point in my career, I thought that I didn't have enough time to actually coach a lot of people, right? So I've not
Yeah.
really been out there putting out a lot of content and here and there, but somehow because I have this audience already, that I can always
Yeah.
reach out to with new offers and all that. So somehow I have a course on WordPress web design, right?
Okay.
So I have a course on WordPress web design, and it is a video course. Like I said, I don't really have to actually show up a lot because we deal with a lot of clients and all that. Yeah. So
Yes.
talking about family lead projects, we are working. Okay, this is the project I said I was going to talk about later. So I guess this is later. So we
Okay.
are working. We are working on this platform. It's a real estate marketplace where real estate agents can actually list their properties and
Okay.
advertise their properties, right? So I've been on it for a while, and we hope to launch by 1st of November because I've already engaged a lot of real estate agents, especially in Abuja, and it's going to be exciting. Of course, it's already exciting, and it's really going to
Yes.
be it's going to be really great, right? So I
Amazing.
think yeah, sure. So being a salesman, I've actually I actually love the real estate space. There is a lot to be done in that industry, and there is a lot of money to be made too, right? So I think having a platform like this is going to actually help a lot of realtors and real estate companies around the country and probably beyond.
Wow. You're doing amazing. Like you're doing amazing.
So,
Looking back, you've shared a lot of, a lot of value with us. And I'd love you to share an advice. Looking at your younger self, what advice will you give to someone who is just starting or someone looking to navigate to the digital marketing area or even life in general? What's your candid advice?
there are a lot of advice on the internet, a lot of
Yeah.
them. They are flying here and there, right? So one advice that I would give my younger self and anyone else who care to listen is the fact that they should do hard things. Do hard things, right? So, um, like I said, there are a lot of advice on the internet, and a lot of people try to sometimes undermine the importance of hard work, right? Of course, or the importance of work in general, right? So the truth is that life is very, very organized. There is nothing valuable that you put into life that is not going to come back with more value. Do you understand? And this is what I want to say. If you don't have a target in life, you are still going to hit something.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get it? So whether you have a target or not, you are going to hit something because there's always something to hit.
Wow.
Good book says, ask and it shall be given to you. Now, this is it. If you decide not to ask, you will still receive. Something will still be given to you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So when you ask, right, the universe is going to respond. When you don't ask, the universe is still going to respond with maybe nothing because you didn't ask for anything. Do you understand?
Right.
So do hard things. And one of my very good friend, Valo Kafo, he coined an acronym for HARD, which is habits, aspirations, resilience, and determination.
Wow, wonderful.
Develop the habits that are going to help you become the person you want to be, the person of value, the person
Yeah.
that when you show up, people want to listen to you, people want to hear your opinion about the business, about the project, about the idea. Build habits that would actually help you become the person who would attract the things that you desire.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So research and learn about the habits of the most successful men, the ones you admire, and build
Mm-hmm.
those habits, right? Because this is it. So there's one thing I learned about success and excellence in general. What I learned is that people have been able to build from nothing to being successful, right? There are a lot of people from the same environment you come from, people from the same or similar backgrounds, but they were able to
Mm-hmm.
build to becoming successful. And that is because they followed through certain habits, right? This
Yeah.
is why I always talk about learning and acquiring knowledge, right? So learn about these habits and let them become your habits. And talking about the A in hard, aspiration, you need to aspire for something. You need to have an aspiration because if you don't aspire for anything, you're going to achieve nothing, right? So you need to be clear about your aspiration. And when you have aspirations, of course, you need to back them up with action because without action, you can't achieve, right? And talking about resilience, like we have discussed earlier, life is hard. A lot of things are hard. If you're going to build anything worthwhile, it's going to be hard, but you have to keep pushing. There's a popular saying that when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. So you have to toughen up. You have to know that for you to get anything, you must work for it. All right. And of course, determination. You must be determined in order to achieve something great in life, in order to become somebody that is worthy of being listened to, in order to build the business of your dream, in order to build the career of your dream. Determination is the seed you have to sow. Very,
Yeah.
very important. So, in conclusion, do hard things because if you don't do hard things are going to do you, and you don't want
Hmm.
that.
Wow, 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 wow. Like, I just feel like we should continue this conversation, but because of your time, and I mean, thank you so much. You've shared a lot of knowledge, and I hope someone out there is going to listen to this and put them all into practice. So, to my dearest viewer, thank you so much for watching. And I hope you like this video and please subscribe to this channel because I'm going to bring in more amazing guest to talk to us. So for connecting with Justice, you can actually connect with him on WhatsApp, Instagram, LinkedIn, anywhere. So I'm going to paste the links to connect with him in the description. So go to the description and connect with him. Ask him any question. If you want to join his program or you want to hire him for his services, you are free because I know for sure that he is going to give you exactly what you ask for. If you ask for this, he's going to give you exactly that. And that is the person that I know. So, Justice, thank you very much for coming. I really
Thank you
appreciate
so
you.
much. Please, so there is this course I am working on. It has not
Yeah.
launched yet. It's launching on the 1st of September, but
Mm-hmm.
it is currently on pre-order. So the title of the course is Online Sales and Skills Monetization. right?
Mm.
So it's basically about how to sell more of your skills and products online like never before, proving
Yeah.
sales strategy for freelancers and anyone who sells something online, right? So
Mm.
the pre-order for the course is on Seller. I think the link should be on the description too, right? So
Yes.
you can the seller link and get the pre-order if you want to learn how to sell your skill, how to show up. Like I said, every day I show up to talk to prospects. Every day I show up to talk to clients because conversations drive transactions, right?
That's true.
So you need to have these conversations in order to make the money you want to make. So if you're interested, you can just get the pre-order or probably get the course when it launches.
Wow. I mean, guys, part of the copywriting knowledge that I have, I learned from him, trust me. And even in his web design sometime a few months ago, or so many months ago, I joined, but I was too busy to finish up. But he is amazing. I mean, he is the person that says this is what he gets and that is exactly what he gets because his copywriting course was is a lot was taught. I had a lot of notes up to today. That note is on my desk whenever I go back and I revisit it, and it refreshes my memory on a lot of things. So get this course because it's going to teach you. Don't say no excuses, because if you are able to get this course, implement it, you are getting more than what you even got the course for, right? So I hope someone takes action and come and share the good news, either with me or with him, because I'm gonna link the all the social media handles in the description for you to
Okay.
message him and connect with him. Or even if you have any further questions, he's gonna attend to you on that. So thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day.